Experts say the current flooding in the Okanagan is another indicator how weather patterns around the world are becoming increasingly unpredictable. As conditions fluctuate from flooding to drought, the valley's aging infrastructure is coming under increasing strains. As Barry McDivitt reports, Okanagan communities are trying to predict what weather-related problems they will face in the future and how to mitigate their effects.
Over the next 25 to 30 years, the climate will certainly continue to change. There'll be more extreme weather events, and there'll be this overall warming trend.
The widespread flooding that hit the Okanagan this spring may become more frequent and more severe.
We're going from drought to flood, and it's going back and forth, and it's almost like a metronome, and it's going faster and faster.
Municipal leaders from across the Okanagan are trying to plan for a future where the weather is less predictable.
I think it is getting weirder. It's certainly getting warmer. It's much warmer than it has been in the past.
Almost every time a house is damaged by a flood or destroyed in a forest fire, an insurance claim is filed. The Insurance Bureau of Canada keeps an eye on weather disasters coast to coast and has noticed a disturbing trend. In 1989, about 10% of all insurance claims were related to water damage. By 2009, the figure had jumped to 40%.
What we've seen over the past number of years is we've seen a significant increase in the frequency and severity of claims arising from extreme weather events. And as such, this is a conclusive proof that the climate is changing.
The 100-year storms became 50-year storms, became 25-year storms. They're happening with more frequency.
Municipal and provincial planners say a lot of existing infrastructure, including storm sewer systems and bridges, are no longer adequate. New systems will have to be designed and built.
We see with the impacts of climate change, the increased frequency and magnitude of storm events, that our old infrastructure isn't sized accordingly to deal with that.
Things like building our reservoirs larger to be able to hold some of that freshet, that runoff that's coming down the hills faster.
The cost of flood prevention could be high, but the cost of doing nothing would be even higher.
Well, now we have a problem, but it's a manageable problem. In 10, 15 years from now, it might not be so manageable. So if we start investing a little bit today, it will save a lot of money down the road.
The Okanagan's population is expected to grow by 30% in the next 2 decades, which means even more people will be affected by future floods, fires, and drought. In Kelowna, Barry McDivitt, CHBC News.